and welcome to episode. I don't
It's
know what
12, god dang it. Don't do it. It's 12.
no, I don't know. That wasn't what I was about to laugh. The
What's
thing
up?
is, I don't know what I was about to laugh at. I just started laughing. I don't
Lord have
know what.
mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just begun the show, and this is a preface what may occur. So, let me welcome you to episode 12 of the Quotes and Mirrors podcast. We gonna find a quote, and we are going to reflect on that quote, and we might laugh a little bit for no reason at all. So, as I say might, but that's already occurred. So we might continue to laugh a little bit for no reason at all.
I'm in a real good mood. The weather's nice. Man, I feel like this is the best day that we've had all year, man. I'm just
It
in a
was a
good
pretty good year. It was a
yeah.
pretty good year. Jesus, pretty good day. All right. I am Uncommonterry. And who's this other guy over here? What's your name,
Somebody
sir?
just laughing at stuff, man. That's
All
that's
right.
my
If
name.
you want me to call you Giggles for the duration of this show.
Oh no, I'm Tyrell James. All right,
Okay.
and
All right.
this
I was
is quotes and mirrors.
if you was gonna leave it up to me, it was gonna get stupid. All right. All right. So we do have a quote for today as it's scrolling across the screen in the event that you are watching us on YouTube. If you are just listening, this quote is by Mr. Thomas, Duke of Norfolk, like Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah,
You
yep.
know what? I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I don't know about that one. They don't seem like they got dukes down in Norfolk. Just seem a little little odd. I guess I didn't know this quote goes that far back. At any rate,
It
the
actually
quote
goes back to 1538.
1538.
Yeah, yeah.
Look
He
at
said
you.
it in a letter to Thomas Cromwell.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think I'd like to hear about this. As a matter of fact, by the way, while you all are waiting, we have baited you. The quote is, "You can't have your cake and eat it too."
Mm,
Now, back to Mr. Cromwell, real quick. He wrote this to a letter, in a letter to Mr. Thomas Cromwell.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you what. I chose this quote because I've been hearing it for years. Never made sense to me. Logically speaking, I got my cake. What else am I supposed to do with it but eat it?
That was always my question. What the hell
Dude,
else am I supposed to do with cake?
it really was. But you know what? I realized, because see, that was a situation where funny always wins, right? It just made sense to be like, well, it's my cake. Why can't I eat it? It's like with that ginkgo biloba they tell you to take for memory. If you
Hmm.
can remember to take it, guess what? Right? It just, funny always wins. But I'll tell you what, just a couple weeks ago, it hit me what this quote was actually saying. I'm not going to tell you yet. I want to know what you say about this quote.
Well, the
Like, what
thing
is
is,
it saying?
I
Huh?
did my research on it, so I know exactly what he means. So,
Oh, well, in that
so
case, I
I
won't tell
cheated.
you why. No, no problem. I want you to tell me. That way I can know if I landed on the right thing. Because it was a bit
Hmm.
of an epiphany for me. And if it was
Hmm.
an empty epiphany, well, then I guess I'm back to the drawing board.
Well,
So,
actually, so it made me realize that oftentimes people use the quote the wrong way, or
yeah.
they don't exactly know what they're saying when they say this.
Mm-mm.
So I've always heard this in terms of cheating. I've always
Okay.
heard it from a woman
Okay.
and saying you can't have your cake and eat it too. Of course, this is long ago, not during my marriage. Let me get this very clear. Okay. so, but but yeah, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. But what he was saying is you can't you can't have your cake as in keep it in your possession and eat it at the same time. You have to make a
Exactly.
choice. Exactly. Yeah. So for me, when I realized that, I was like, dang, I wish I would have known this back when them women were telling me you can't have your cake and eat it too. Because what that means is I can have her, I just can't keep her.
Oh boy. Now hold on a second. Hold on a second, player. Let me back that up a little bit. Now, now you did say you said you have to make a choice.
Yeah.
So okay, so what choice are you saying you have to make? You can either have the cake or eat the cake.
Right. Boy,
That was that's it.
I'm gonna try my best not to go some not to go
Now
certain
we
places.
it's already colloquial. Don't even worry about it.
Right.
It is. And for those of you that don't know what colloquial means, well, we'll see you when you get back from Google. So, so it just hit for real, for real. It just hit me. I just understood it like about a month ago.
Uh-huh.
That because I was always like, well, it's my cake. But the thing is, when people use this quote, what they're focusing on is like you can't have your cake. Like they're like, but it's my cake. Why can't if I can't have my but it's my cake, and then if it's my cake, I can do what I want to do with it. If I want to eat it, I can
Mhm.
eat it. If I don't, you know what I mean? So they completely misinterpreted altogether. And I finally realized, yo, this simply means that you cannot have this cake, consume this cake,
Mhm. Right.
and expect it to still be present on your plate.
Exactly.
And man, I'm telling you, first of all, I feel like quite an idiot. Now, I don't use, up until then, I've never used, okay, I won't say never. I want to say never because I feel like an idiot and I feel like I was one of the people that used this quote completely out of context, right? But
Mhm.
I didn't really use it often enough to say, all right, this was a thing that I say. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
man, when I figured it out, it was, I felt like an idiot. And I was like, wow, all this time I just been so eager to make the joke. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I've been so eager to make the joke. I'm like, yo, there's arguments I could have won had I used this thing properly.
Right. Me too. Me too. 'Cause I did the same thing. I would always just go to the joke.
Yeah. You know what I
Like,
mean?
what
And then
else am I supposed to do with cake?
yeah. And not to mention the understanding of this situation would allow me to put up a better defense when it was used against me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
so now I don't know what was he talking about by the way in the letter to Mr. Thomas Cromwell. Do you know?
So the letter was written in 1538, and back in 1538, they had a bunch of language and stuff that we didn't understand. I ain't read that damn letter.
Oh,
He ain't about to
so
confuse me.
I mean, it was probably just a bunch of D's and thous, right?
Yeah, probably. Like I
Here,
ain't read
here twos and ne'er de wells and things of that.
Near D Wells.
What? Were you gonna tell me it ain't? You don't know what it was? Shut up.
I
Well, don't
mean,
shut
Near
up.
D
We gotta
Wells.
continue the conversation.
Near D Wells, is that Ida B. Wells' sister? Like, what? What is that?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was obvious that we were shooting in the dark about what that language might have been just then.
We are. It's just that that bullet is just bouncing around right now, and I ain't trying to get hit.
I don't. I've heard the phrase "ne'er do well" somewhere before, but that ain't really what we're
Really?
talking about. I don't know where it came from, but by the way, a portion of this episode is brought to you by. I won't do that. They don't need to see the bottle, and they don't need the free publicity. They're doing well without it. But at any
Exactly.
rate.
But if they do want to cut a check, we'll do it all day long. I'll do a whole show just advertising for them. So
I'm with you. I'm with you. But so this right here, I guess I didn't really get now. First of all, let me ask this: do you have a bunch of notes about
um,
this
you,
particular
you
quote?
know the funny thing? One,
Uh-oh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 things written here, and I've already said 5 of them.
You've already said 5 of them. All right. Well, how? Okay, we're gonna have to
Yeah,
unpack this,
because
sir.
because they tied in. They
Mm-hmm.
tied in together. And then the last one, I probably wouldn't even get to it because it's just a stupid joke that I'm trying to figure out how to insert somewhere.
Ah. Well, we don't want a bunch of stupid jokes, but maybe if we get both the timing and the atmosphere correct, it won't
Right.
be as stupid as you think.
Yep. It's all about the time. And if it works, then it works. If not, y'all will never hear it. I'll tell you off air.
so, so I guess we should explore. Like, I guess I don't know how many different ways this has been misused, but I think that many people completely misunderstood the situation.
Hmm.
Um, just, and I'm trying to think of another way. Like, I can't think of a way right off the top how people actually use it, but I will say that once I actually figured it out, then it didn't even feel like people say it like it's a zinger. You know what I mean? Like they got you. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And I'm like, now that I understand what it was saying, I'm like, yeah, that's true. But okay, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And
Okay, and
that's
then like
why.
you go ahead.
Now, you go. You go first.
No, I was just gonna say it's not like so now it's not like it used to. It used to kind of shut a situation down.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When you came to this point, this was like this statement would come like a hammer, to kind of shut a situation down. Somebody that basically, I guess they was double dipping or maybe cheating. I don't know what cheating looks like. I've never done that before. So you shouldn't look at me like that.
I was
Why are you
looking at
looking
me.
at me like this?
I was looking at me.
I mean, everybody did it. Everybody did it. Everybody a little bit had their cake and was trying to eat it too.
In the
And actually,
past.
you know what now though, when you even talking about in reference to cheating, technically it can't really apply, right? Because it's two different cakes. Uh-oh.
Now,
Uh,
that's where I was going with
all right.
it. Because the thing is, like I said earlier, it just means I
Mhm.
can't keep her. I can't have my cake and eat it too. So what she was meaning in the past, and look, first of all, let me say this. I'm able to speak so freely about the whole cheating thing because it's so far in the past that I'm not worried about my wife sitting here and watching the show and then feeling some kind of way because it never happened to her. She
Right.
never had to worry about this. So 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 me and her can sit there and laugh at my exes. Anyway, so oh, I'm joking. I'm joking, by the way, kind of. So um, but I say kind of because her and Terrell's mother they get along just great. They're wonderful friends. So
But
I'm talking about
everybody
all the
doesn't know
other
who Terrell
exes.
is. Everybody doesn't
Huh?
know who Terrell is.
If they know that I'm Terrell, I'm sure they can put two and two together. Now, if they get five, then they need to go to school. But
Oh, you just went muted. I can't hear you at all right now. What happened?
really, can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
quite seriously. I can tell what you're saying from your facial expression and I could read your lips in just a second, but
Okay, can you hear me now though?
I cannot hear you now.
Really?
Really. I'm reading your lips. I promise you this ain't a prank.
Can you hear me now?
Nope. Now I can hear you.
That
Put
was
your
crazy. Like,
that was crazy.
yeah, so I have to do the whole show like this now, like this.
No. I can hear you now. I don't know what happened. And I was trying to see if maybe something came unplugged or something, but nope.
No,
But anyway,
we're gonna go ahead and assume that everybody else could hear me, and it was only on your end.
well, tell me
And
what you said.
I don't even remember.
Oh,
Um,
you know, you was probably saying it because they know that you're Terrell, and they can assume that Terrell you're speaking of. I
exactly.
mean, you could have been speaking in third person.
I could because I do that, but I wasn't.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
fine then. All right, so back to having your cake and eating it too.
So, in the past, like I really wish that I would have known the true meaning and exactly what he meant when he first came up with this because like I said earlier, it just means that, I they say you can't have your cake and eat it too, meaning you can have the cake, but if you're going to eat it, then you have to eventually get rid of it because you can't do the two things at the same time. You can't have it and get rid of it at the same time. So cool. So in the past, when a woman told me you can't have your cake and eat it too, to me that means I can still have this other woman. I just can't keep her.
Um, wait a minute. Nope, doesn't register.
I put it this way: you can't have your cake and eat it too. Meaning, you can have the cake, but when you eat it, you get rid of it, right? So you can't have it and get rid of it at the same time.
Well, okay, so I mean, you can go a little bit too deep into the situation, especially when you think literally about eating a piece of cake, right? You can't
Hmm.
eat the cake and expect for the cake to be on the plate. However, I did consume the cake, so technically, I both ate and have the cake. Okay, it has become a part of me. All right.
Until that bathroom run.
Well, that was just disgusting. Did anybody appreciate that? Raise your hand if you appreciated that. No? No? All right. That was disgusting and uncalled for, as a matter of fact. I would appreciate if you would filter further comments in that nature. Jesus, what's going on here? Kids today, I tell you, right? So, but this situation, this have your cake and eat it too. I think if you can produce the cake, if you can continue to produce the cake, then I mean, obviously, ultimately, you're gonna run shy of resources. I guess maybe, you know what I mean. But as even as I put it out there, I really put it out there because I was like really happy about having understood it for what it is, right?
Hmm.
But ultimately, I guess I didn't have like I don't know, a counterpoint, if you will, um, to this particular quote. So wow, I'm kind of stuck right now.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I was coming up with my notes for this, I
Mm,
was like, this show isn't going to be as long as the other shows because like this, it's one of those things where you get to the point, like, okay, with so many of our other quotes,
right,
I've been able to come from a perspective, and you have been able to come from a different perspective.
right.
I knew we were going to see this the same way,
Ah,
and
okay.
I was like, all right, so that kind of it kind of limits the conversation when we both see this. At that point now, what we both could do is pretty much expound, but I
Hmm.
feel like us both expounding on this, we're going to expound in the same way.
I guess that's true. Okay, okay.
you
I guess
know
that's true. In that case, we can shift gears real quick, right?
okay,
Because
okay,
we coming up on 20 minutes. I think everybody's pretty clear that you can't have your cake and eat it too, right?
right. Hmm.
So I did think about, because this was one of two quotes that I was choosing for this week. The other one was, "What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong."
Hold up, you want me to change the quote at the bottom of the screen?
Well, we don't have to change it. I mean, we can in the middle of the show, but then we got to change the title. It's gonna have to be, "You can't have your cake and eat it too," because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
I tell you what, let's
What's the
connect it.
All right? How you gonna do that one?
Let me see how I can do this. Okay, so you can't have your cake and eat it too, because when you're doing that, you are doing, now if we think about in terms of how it's normally used as far as cheating, or okay, let me say this, it was used as far as cheating when it was said to me. Now I've heard it said in other ways, but anytime it was said to me, it was because of cheating.
I'm telling
But
you what. You know what? Your life before wife was pretty goddamn questionable. Okay, let's just go ahead and put that out there for the people. All right.
look, what are the questions? Look, I was
No, no, no. I didn't say I got questions about it. I said it was questionable. All right. But
I
I'm
can tell you
thinking,
one thing. I
what's
finally
up?
got it right. Okay.
That's what's up. Look,
Exactly.
that's
When
what's
I
up.
found this woman, I was like, this the cake that I want to eat. Oh, so
Look, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. You know what I mean?
exactly.
See? We just put it together. But that's why I feel like we should shift and we should merge these two episodes. Boom. Now we might be able to to expound on what's right is right and what's wrong a little bit more. But
Mhm.
since I had both quotes in mind and I just kind of threw a dart in the dark to see which one was gonna come up first.
Mhm.
The cake one came up first, but I think everybody pretty much understands that. I think it's clear. Excuse me. If they didn't know, then they know now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? What's that? Ain't that's a lyric, right? If you don't know, now you know. Okay.
It was Biggie.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess some people are gonna be like, really? You just
You're right.
couldn't
Yeah,
quote
they are because I
you
was
could
thinking that.
well fine. Look, I ain't gonna say, okay. All right, I'm gonna put it out there real quick. I wasn't a huge Biggie fan, homie.
I
Okay.
mean, I ain't mad at you.
I wasn't a
Like,
big fan of Biggie. I wasn't a big fan of KRS One. I catch flack for that all the time. All right, there. I put it out there for the people, and it
mhm.
is what it is. Now,
Like,
as we shift,
yeah.
can can we shift? Are you okay with that? You good with that?
I'm cool with the shift, but I actually I want to see if we can connect the two.
Well, we might be able to connect the two in the midst of the conversation.
Okay. All right. Let's
Yeah,
do that then.
we might be able to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because see this right here, just that quote. First of all, I don't know who's first person to say what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, but I love it because I'm as black and white as they come, and
Yes,
for you
you
to be able
are.
to say, I love that. I love that. I love that situation. I love that if I can get somebody to believe that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, I don't have to deal with the motivation. What was the emotion? What was he feeling when he did this? What was he going through? I don't care what you was going through, homie. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So let me ask first question. How do you feel about that statement? Because you know you a great mother.
um. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out who said it first. Um. So the way I feel about it, man, it depends. I think that here's the gray area.
Go ahead.
What's right to you may not be right to me. What's wrong to you may not be wrong to me.
Yeah, but see, the problem was that with that is you can't please everybody all of the time, right? So if I'm gonna wait, or if you're gonna wait for us to be in agreement about what's right and what's wrong
Mm-hmm.
based on interpretation,
Mm-hmm.
then nothing really could end up being right or wrong. And I think there have to be some universal truths. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? I think there got to be some universal truths that say, okay, this is a hard no. This
Mm-hmm.
is definitely a hard yes. Because if not, what are you building any rule on, any structure, any government? What are you building any of it on if it's
Mm-hmm.
all just left up to interpretation? Now, mind you, now I will say this: there is a little bit of a, well, I guess we could say gray area, right? Because there is a discussion that comes in a way of, let's just deal with crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you deal with crime, crime is wrong. Just crime in general is wrong. But you still get your day in court. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it ain't just you did it, we saw you do it, you're going to jail. You still get your day in court. And then
Mm-hmm.
but then, I guess that's where you can really manipulate the system. Because then
Mm-hmm.
you deal with insanity, you deal with emotional instability, you deal with uh, PTSD from he was traumatized because he was touched as a kid, and so this all of this type stuff. And I mean, I'm not going to say that this stuff is not valid and not worthy of consideration, but ultimately, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So now you know what this actually makes me. Go ahead. You were gonna say something. I saw it.
No, it
You was
wasn't.
pregnant.
Good.
No, you was pregnant just now. I saw it.
I'm definitely not gonna do it because you got me pregnant now. Like I'm like,
So okay, so you for abortion is what you're saying.
I don't believe that that anybody should tell a woman what she can do with her body. Now, now that we got that out the way, I've changed the quote at the bottom of the screen. I got
Right.
both of them down there now.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Well, now, hold on a second, because this show is about to be. You about to put miscellaneous at the bottom of the screen is what's about to happen. Because now, this ain't even reference to a quote, but just now what you said in reference to women and nobody should tell a woman what she can do with her body, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have to say that I want to agree with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue I have with that, I can't tell a woman what she can do with her body, but she can flat out tell me what she gonna do with my baby. I got a problem with that.
Well,
because if you don't want him, give him here.
yeah, but the thing is this. That's a conversation that we probably should have had before we laid down and have sex. Like, the thing is, we both made the decision
Hold
to
on.
have
Stop saying
unprotected.
we. Say me and the young lady, or
Okay,
you and the young
okay, all right,
lady.
right.
Stop
Because I'm
saying we.
all right.
All right, because that just sounds weird.
The two people, it felt weird. The two people decided to. I think we could tie this into the quote too. But
Okay.
the two people decided to lay down and have sex or stand up and have sex, however they did it. Um, but you were well aware of the fact that you can get pregnant, and that as the man that you can get her pregnant. You know what's up. You know what's going on. So you got to
Okay.
know going into it that there's the possibility of you impregnating this woman. Now, once you've impregnated her, even though that's your child as well, it's in her body. She's the one that's affected by this the most.
Okay, I give you that.
So it's her decision.
But what I'm saying is, you got 9, 10 months, given a healthy situation,
Hmm.
to contend with your sister, and then you can just give me my baby and walk off. So, and you say she's the one that's affected by it the most. Yeah, physically, immediately, she's affected by it the most. But if I'm saying, give me my child, you had 9 months that you carried him or her, 10 months maybe at the most, and now you're done. Give me my child and walk off. I'm done. You ain't got nothing else to do. I
That's
got the
her
rest of
body
this.
that has that's her
Yeah, but I
body
got
that has to deal with that for those 9 or 10 months though.
yeah,
And if
but
she
now
doesn't want to do that, then
but again, that's a situation that you should have discussed before they having sex.
right. But that goes both ways. You got to understand.
You go both
There,
ways.
there is what'd you say? What'd you say?
You go both ways.
Oh, let me let me let me make this clear. Let
I'm
me take
sorry.
this off me.
My bad. I'm sipping on immaturity right now. My
Yeah,
bad.
you are. You are. So, but you got to understand. If you taking that chance of getting a woman pregnant, you got to understand everything that comes with that. What comes with that is her getting pregnant. What also comes with that is her making a decision about the baby that's inside of her.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the man, yeah, you should have had that discussion too. That can go both ways. But the fact of the matter is, she's the one with the most control right here. So you ain't got no choice but to go along with what she
Yeah,
says.
but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. The control is where the imbalance occurs, right? The control is definitely where the balance occurs. But what I just don't dig, I get that they the one that got to carry the child, but I don't understand how the father and his emotional state is 100% discounted, completely discounted. Because the thing is, if you choose to abort the child, you like whatever, dude. As far as you're concerned, you figure I'm free. Nah, that was my baby. Now, if you decide to keep him, I can't make the decision to say, well, you decided to keep her. It's on you. Hell no. You can't do that. Law says you can't do that. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. It's not an even playing field when the situation is that, okay, you make the decision of who's dealing with what and how they're going to deal with what, when they're going to deal with it. And I'm completely involved only after you decide that I am. But if I want to be involved and I'm willing to say, hand my baby, hand me my baby, walk off. Nope. And I get she got to go through 9 months. I get that. But she ain't got to go through that by herself. She don't. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of spewing on that.
Now
That kind of,
it's cool because
huh?
I changed. I added some more to the quote at the bottom, so we cool. We can keep going with this.
Uh-oh.
It's
What
coming.
is this? What's
It's
right?
coming.
And some other stuff.
Yeah. So-
Well, you know what? The truth is that we haven't come at y'all for a couple of weeks, so we got a couple things stored up. You know what I mean? That's just real. We got a couple things stored up, and if you've been listening to the show, you know we have a couple. We got a lot of fun with the show. All right, and we gotta maintain a spontaneous atmosphere. We got a goal. We got a destination to where we're going, but we also know how to pivot so that you can enjoy the show regardless. Because I ain't gonna front. Sometimes I don't take no notes. And when I say sometimes, I mean I have yet to take notes concerning any particular quote. So sometimes we got to pivot, and we need you to pivot with us and just enjoy the show. All right, you might mess around and get a quote from something that we talking about right now. Get up and go take a look in the mirror and reflect on it yourself. So I'm just saying, sometimes you just got to flow. You got to be like water. Situation is pretty fluid. It's going to take some
Mhm.
twists and some turns, but we're going to get to where it is that we have to go. But in reference to that situation, that's just something personal for me. I happen to fully on enjoy being a father, and I don't enjoy being a father just because, or should I say, it ain't an obligatory situation. I'm trapped, so now I'm making the best out of a bad situation. Nah. If you wanted to walk off and leave me with my child, that baby would do well. All right?
Yo, you know what? It's funny that we did this. That we did it
What's
like
that?
this. Check this out. I had a conversation with a woman last week. I went to go get my car washed. And I'm about to connect all three of these in the conversation that me and her had.
Nice.
She so she and I don't know. It was almost as if she was a sweet woman, but it was almost as if she was just looking for an opportunity to talk about the whole abortion thing with this whole Roe versus Wade thing coming out.
Yeah. It's fresh. It's
So
fresh now.
right, so she just kind of she found an a segue that just didn't fit. We were talking about grandkids, and she, you know, when she was talking about her grandkids. I was talking about my grandson, and then
Mm-hmm.
it somehow went to abortion. I'm like, where did this come from, right?
Okay.
So, but she was saying that she does not believe in abortions. And I'm like, cool, I'm not a fan of abortions either, but I'm also not a fan of telling people what to do with their bodies. And she said, well, they should have thought about that before they laid down and had sex. And then she starts telling me a story about a woman who had actually cheated on her husband and
Mm.
got pregnant.
Mm.
um I guess she was having her cake and eating it too.
I mean, I would have to say that's exactly what she was doing. And
Yeah. So, well, if we're going to use it the way people use it, then yeah, that's
right,
what.
right.
Yeah. Um, but she was, and this woman was very black and white as far as abortions being wrong, and
Mm-hmm.
and if you get pregnant with the kid, then that's right. So when her mind was right and right is what's wrong is wrong. So now get back
Nice.
to the abortion thing. So we're connecting all three of these things, right? So
Okay.
she said that in the past she felt the same way that I felt, that you shouldn't tell a person what to do with their body, but she changed her mind. She changed her mind.
Mm-hmm.
She said that it was wrong. This woman also decided to, and this is where I started to check out, but thank God her car was fit because she was there before me. They had just finished her car. and it was time for her to go. Um, she said that after she said that, about that if you get pregnant, you should definitely have the baby. She said, plus, sex isn't even supposed to be enjoyable.
What?
Your car's ready.
Hold
Your
on. Sex isn't supposed to be enjoyable based on what? Like, what was her point of reference?
based on her. Now, according to her, it's wrong to have sex for the purpose of enjoying it and for the purpose of it being pleasurable. In her
Oh,
mind,
she's saying it should
right is
just be
right.
about procreation.
Right, exactly. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. It's wrong to have sex for the purpose of being pleasurable. It's right to have sex for the purpose of procreation. And I looked at her and I thought, because she was older, and I'm thinking to myself,
And
boy, how long has it
divorced.
been since you've had sex?
Oh, she was divorced. I guarantee you. She was either divorced or she was widowed by suicide.
or or her husband was somewhere having his cake and eating it too.
Yeah, he was definitely having his cake and eating it too at
Yeah,
100%. Because that
yeah,
situation, I don't understand that one at all. I have heard people say that though, that you're only supposed to have it for the purpose of procreation. But if you're gonna act like it don't feel good, then you're doing it wrong,
right,
and for the
exactly.
wrong reason, for that matter. So you know what? This is what I love about this podcast. People, look here. On Quotes and Mirrors, sometimes we just gonna shoot, and whatever come out is whatever come out. Especially after a couple of weeks of not being on the air. You know what I mean? I say on the air. Is this considered on the air?
Yeah,
Was that a live? Is that a live statement about being on the air? Is that a live statement?
yeah, we gonna call it there. I mean, that's this is this we it's gonna be whatever we want it to be. It's ours.
Yeah, I guess because we are definitely off the rails right now. We are definitely off the rails right now, but I ain't gonna front. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of digging it. It's been a stressful day. So right now, to not have to stay in a particular lane just because it's our show and we can do what we want to do with it is
Feels great.
actually, yeah, it is actually pretty dope. And anybody that decided to turn us off, we did. I know. I'm nope. Sorry, I'm not gonna be negative. I'm not gonna be negative. Let me pull it back in. I'm not going to be negative. We would like for you to listen to the next show and those prior to this particular episode. Yeah,
And all the ones afterwards.
all the ones after, because we ain't going to stop.
Nah, we ain't stopping. Y'all gonna keep talking. We gonna keep on having quotes.
But I still, uh, I guess I just want to know, like, I just want to kind of jump into a situation concerning what's right and right and what's wrong is wrong. Um, not a particular situation, but
Mhm,
I find that it's just more productive to kind of live like that. Like certain things, you just got to accept. Okay, my
mhm,
bad. Regardless as to why I did it, I shouldn't have done it. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Because I get so sick and tired of, well, like I said in the beginning, you don't know what they were thinking or what was the emotion, what were they feeling? Yo, real rap feelings, they're temporary. You know what I mean? But the outcome of what you do based on whatever feeling can easily be very, very permanent. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So I think you gotta think about that in the beginning. You gotta think about that when you start to feel these things. Like, yo, I'm about to do some wrong ish, like for real. And it's gonna be wrong. Like there ain't no fixing it. What I'm about to do is a pretty terminal situation. It's gonna be wrong. And I think if you think along those lines and you have a more clear scope of honestly just how you need to move, because all right, you can either decide I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna deal with whatever comes for this wrong that I'm about to do, or I'm gonna think about it now and I'm not going to engage.
mhm.
But I think people that deal with the gray area and they deal with an emotional situation, they respond immediately to emotions, which again is a temporary situation, and they cause a permanent outcome. I think if they thought more along the lines of what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, they wouldn't have to deal with that.
Um, what if they don't? What if their definition of wrong isn't the same as somebody else's? Like whoever else is involved in the situation, what if they don't necessarily see it as wrong?
But I
Or,
mean,
what if,
can you
I
give
tell
an
you what,
example of that?
yeah. So I'll go back to the example of the woman with the that I was talking to at the car wash. She
Hmm.
thinks it's wrong to have sex for the purpose of it being pleasurable. I think she's wrong. I know
Yeah,
she's wrong.
yeah, 100%.
She thinks it's wrong to have abortions. I don't think that it's wrong. I don't think it feels right, but I don't think it's wrong.
Well, I think that it kind of depends on the situation. If you use an abortion as a birth control, that's wrong.
I can see that. All right, I can definitely agree with that. Yeah.
However, if you don't want to bring a child into the world that is a product of rape, I think you're righting a wrong. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because what that child has to carry, my father was a rapist, yo. Really?
Hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? So what he has to carry going forward. So I think you'd be righting a wrong by doing abortion. You know, because
So
it
so
started wrong.
so does righting a wrong contradict what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong?
Nah. Why you ask that?
Content.
I mean,
I
ladies and
mean,
gentlemen, we have stumbled into a transparent hour. Oh. That's hilarious. But nah, I don't think so at all. I think that it's two separate things. You know what I mean?
Mm,
You somebody made the wrong decision.
mm.
You identify it as a wrong decision, so you don't continue along that path. You make a right decision.
Right. But what I'm saying is if you see abortion as wrong, but what led to the decision to have the abortion was wrong, now you're making the abortion right. Is that a contradiction?
Okay.
Or have we stumbled into a gray area? Or have you stumbled into the gray area that you always like to avoid?
Well, you know, if I'm in a gray area, I definitely stumbled. Okay, you know that. All right. I definitely stumbled if I'm here. So, so let me think about what you're saying. Okay, so if abortion is wrong,
Mhm.
but so I think okay, so now I guess I'm thinking about, and this might just be me being justifying the situation, but the origin of a circumstance of the situation is wrong. So if if abortion itself is wrong, it is wrong when it's used as birth control. But now, okay, now I guess the answer to that question would have to be yes, because now I'm not just now I'm dealing with the conditions of the situation to determine whether or not it's wrong, and it's not so black and white anymore. All right, you got me on that. Boom. There. I have to concede that the the Grays win. That was a baseball team back in the day, wasn't it?
The grays.
Yeah. That was I think that was an African American. I say African American. That was
Oh,
a
in the
black.
Negro leagues.
Yeah, I think that was.
I got to double check. I don't know.
When you say double check, did you check once before?
No. I was like, yo, I'm gonna tell you what I started to do. I started to make a double play joke, and
Okay.
it didn't connect in the moment. And I said, I got to think about that, but I don't have time to think about that because we're doing a podcast. So
Oh, you was gonna have to abort the mission midway through.
you're good at
About
this. You're
I'm
good.
nice. I'm
Good.
nice. And when I say nice right now, it is a colloquialism for. I am borderline inebriated, as a matter of fact.
Yo, anybody that says that they are inebriated is drunk.
First of all, if you could say inebriated, that's evidence that you are not drunk, sir. Thank you very much. I need you to go ahead and acknowledge that. Inebriated. See that? Boom. All right. At any rate, this has actually been pretty fun.
It
This has
is.
actually been, yeah. Because I think we had some places we was going, but we had to go ahead and be real, and we're like, we didn't actually jump into this. This is only about 19 minutes of conversation.
Yeah, really. It really was.
So I guess if you recap, you can't have your cake and eat it too. For those who don't understand it, it simply means that you cannot consume your cake and expect to be looking down at the same plate and the same piece of cake as you consume this cake. Man, I'm trying to tell you, it was a great epiphany to actually understand that. And you know what? I say that like it's not possible that I was the one that was late to the game. But since you also had to understand it when you looked it up, then maybe other people definitely. Well, we know other people because we heard them use it wrong. You know what I mean?
I'm sure everybody is going to be like, "Oh wow, that's what it really means." Like, yo, I want so badly to call every woman that has ever said that to me, and tell them, "You're right.
Right.
You are absolutely right. I couldn't have my cake and eat it too. So I had my cake and then I got rid of it. Forgive me. You have no choice but to forgive me. I did what you told me to do. You told me I couldn't have my cake and eat it too. So I had it. I had her and I got rid of her. So I don't understand what the big deal is. Leave me alone.
You and these cheating references, they're a little concerning. I'm not going to lie to you. They're just a little concerning.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. It's so much fun to be able to do that when you're a faithful man. You're able to look back at the past and laugh and joke, and you know that your wife is going to be watching the show and she's going to be sitting there laughing at it too, because she ain't the one that had to deal with it. Like
That's
it's
true.
just, man,
That's true.
It feels wonderful.
I'm not even going to beat you up about your past. Instead, I'm going to celebrate your growth.
Yeah, celebrate my growth.
Yeah, completely self-righteously, as if I never had any situation.
Right. Yeah,
just so you know,
I'm the only one sharing.
Oh yeah, we're only talking about you. Just so you know, we are only talking about you. I don't care how confidently I can step into that arena. I've chosen not to. Yep, not even gonna worry about it. I love you, Mika. Not even gonna worry about it.
See, it wouldn't even apply because we're talking about the past. We're
True.
talking about before our wives. That's what we're talking about. Our wives ain't have to deal with this.
That's true. I mean, but sometimes that situation can end up being pretty sticky, man. You start talking about past relationships, and sometimes it can be pretty sticky. You know what I mean? Because if you resemble anything close to who that cat used to be, or who, then you could pull the string on a sweater and unravel it pretty quickly. You know what I mean? So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, but you know how to fix that, right? With your wife, and she get upset about stuff like that. You know how to fix it, right?
I don't know. Think I'm about to learn some. Oh, he said, "Eat the cake." I mean, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
You know what's funny? So Ma calls me after every show, and she tells me how much she loved the show, and then she talks about certain parts. She's gonna call me after hearing that, right?
Well, this was gonna be ridiculous.
She's gonna say you are a disgusting dog.
She is. And she gonna say she gonna smack your face. This is ridiculous. Yes. Okay. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there for the people. Ma, he did say that by himself. Just so you know. Okay. Just see, I am just as shocked As you are. I don't even know
Oh,
what he
okay.
means by eat the cake, ma. I don't even
Okay.
know.
So now you can expect a phone call too, because she knows you know. Okay.
My phone is dead. Anyway, I think we done got all the juice out of this miscellaneous fruit that we can possibly squeeze this evening.
Yeah, we sure have. We have. Like,
So, and I can't even tell you what it's gonna taste like. I ain't gonna lie to you. So we thank you all for listening. This has been episode 12 of Quotes and Mirrors. It got a little bit off the rails, but I guess it was supposed to. We hope that you learned something. We know that you learned something because all of y'all didn't know what that quote meant. All right.
right.
All of y'all didn't know. So we know that
I
you
don't
learned
think none of
something.
y'all knew.
Nah, you got some takeaway. That's for sure. They got some takeaway.
Yeah.
All right. And they can't even blame me on being light or dark skinned because both of us is on this goddamn podcast.
I ain't light skinned.
Oh, you light skinned.
Just
You
because
light
you
skinned.
so dark, it does not make me light.
You light skinned. You look at you in your shirt, sitting there looking like a Texas A&M fan. Look at you. Look at you. All right. You can't help it. It's okay. Don't be defending being light skinned. You better be light skinned.
Man, that you like that drink, don't you? That drink. That drink making you feel good.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. There's nothing left in this bottle.
That's only because you can't have your drink and drink it too.
I can have my drink and drink it too. It is a part of me, as a matter of fact. All right.
So that bathroom run.
You know what? He did it again. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 12, Quotes and Mirrors, off the rails. It has come to a close on this evening. I am Uncommonterry.
And I am Tyrell James. And on that note, and I quote, peace out.
Peace.